So hi everyone, welcome to the newest edition of the Bitcoin Liquidity series, the 10th episode, I believe it is. So it's a big number today. Bitcoin Liquidity series, just to recap everyone, it's an interview series we do where we talk to the most exciting projects, builders, and contributors to the greater DeFi space, whether that's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, you name it. Today, we're pleased to be joined by Solayer and Publicqi, if I'm saying that correct,
Yeah, hi
to
everyone.
discuss Solayer, staking, restaking, InfiniSVM, and much more. So I think on that note, let's dive straight into it and get to the exciting parts. So yeah, welcome.
Hi. Hi everyone. Yeah, let me do a quick intro. My name's Chi, and I'm an engineer at Solayer. Previously, I was working as a security researcher at Fuzzend. Yeah, let's start then.
Nice, perfect. So yeah, I think for introduction's sake, let's talk a bit about Solayer and I guess your mission and what you're working on at Solayer. So can you give us a quick intro or ELI 5 to what Solayer is and what your mission is?
Yeah, so for newcomers, we started as a restaking project on Solana, and earlier this year we pivoted to a chain development. We're going to build a chain that can support 1 million TPS. That's the short thing, and our mission is to push blockchain performance to a point like as I said before, it's a 1 million TPS, which means huge bandwidth and the throughput and speed, and I used to work in Fuzzend, and earlier this year we got acquired by Solayer and like act as we hack and exploit the performance of hardware to achieve that goal. Uh, yeah, that's a brief introduction.
Okay, interesting. So I guess two separate questions based off that. First one being why Solana? What was the reason for launching on Solana? I guess second question straight away is what was the reason for the pivot away from restaking to chain development?
Well, because like we're aiming for 1 million TPS, and Solana naturally becomes the choice. If you like know some like technical details, EVM is it's like a kind of high level virtual machine where everything get interpreted, which means it will be like wrapped into multi layers. But on Solana or SVM, Solana virtual machine, everything got like just runs on your bare machine. So if there can be a limit, Solana is the architecture to push this limit. And also we found that Solana's ecosystem is like as good as Ethereum. Like the developers there, they're very talented, and that's why we chose Solana. As you can see, like the infra provided by Solana, it supports like things like pumped up fund, like huge like traffic from that. And
Hmm.
the second, I think the last question was like why we like pivoted from staking to building a chain.
Yep.
Well, we think that this is still like Solana is good, but it still lacks of something, which is the 1 million TPS target. So basically, we think that if you as a user, you might find that trading on Solana is pretty smooth enough. But as a developer, you'll find sometimes or a lot of times your transaction cannot get on chain smoothly, mostly because of the bandwidth limit. Sometimes there are only limited transactions allowed in the block. So we want to eliminate that limit by building a like super performant chain.
Okay, interesting. And this is then InfiniSVM. That's the I guess the chain as a whole, or is this a separate product?
It's a chain as a whole. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, can you tell me a bit about this? I guess from try to keep it as non-technical as possible for for me to be able to understand. But
Okay.
how do you
Yeah.
go
Sure.
about creating a chain like this based around Solana, but with I guess technological achievements and capabilities that Solana cannot match?
So I think our advantage compared to Solana is that we're like we're small, so we don't have to adapt all the like thousands of validators there, and we have this mega validator architecture where we as a super like server will be in charge of all the transaction sequencing and all the stuff, and that will give us the max performance. But on Solana, like you have to like wait for all the nodes to come in and process all the transactions, and that's one advantage we have. And also like like the like for Solana, such a big chain, they have like pivoting problems that like if they want to build some new standard, it's gonna take days, weeks, even months to like really activate that feature on chain. And
Mhm.
for us, we don't have such concerns. And that's too, I think, like advantage we have compared to Solana. And yeah, let's talk about like the chain itself. So you can see it's well we technically we say it's an L1 because like we don't really rely on the state of Solana. We don't publish our state status to Solana. We run parallel with Solana with but we have like a designed a really good user experience or dev experience for them. So as we are fully compatible with Solana. All the tools we built on Solana, it will work on our chain, and also our bridge design is like built for developer experience. You can instantly bridge your coin from Solana to us, and also you and backwards, and you can call contracts from Solana. So basically, what you can do is to send a transaction on Solana, and our relayer will like forward the message onto our chain. So it's basically the DevX is the priority.
Okay, interesting. I guess from a user experience or a DApp perspective, how do you see Solayer competing with Solana or Ethereum or other chains? Or are you taking a similar, I guess, retail community approach, or is it positioned as more of an institutional chain, or I guess a hybrid of the two?
Well, I don't really see our competing with Solana because like um maybe analogy here is that if Solana is like if we are two charging cables, Solana is more for a general like a Type C charger, which serves for your phone, your tablets, or your laptop. They work well, but we will charge things way bigger than that, maybe your car, your EV. So yeah, you cannot really say we're like competing, and because of the like the high TPS and bandwidth we will provide, I think we can like unlock many limits a blockchain can do. For example, you can stream videos on that because of the high bandwidth. You can just upload your data as transactions onto the chain, and another one can just stream it. And yeah, I think it's gonna we will see a lot of fun, dApps or even applications like on the chain.
Okay, interesting. Do you have any, yeah, I guess any teasers for what kind of dApps we could see? Yeah.
Well, this is like a inner brainstorm we had. Maybe we'll like have a live gaming event like based on our like on our DevNet, because like I said, with the huge bandwidth, what you really can do is to like act. I use the blockchain as like a layer of network. The here the network means the real physical network, where you can transmit data on it, and that means that you can play games, right? So all your like gaming processing logic can be on chain.
Ah, okay, that's cool. I like that. I guess a slightly separate question. So, in your docs and in your communications, there's a lot of mentions of using AI technology to accelerate, I guess, both chain development and usage. Can you talk a bit more about how Solaya works with AI or what your plans are for this?
Yeah, of course. So one bottleneck Solana or any like scheduler system have is this bottleneck of scheduling. So it means that like for security, you can only do certain like limited parallelism because of scheduling. Like there's a trade-off when you schedule transaction. If you execute transaction A first, you may not be able to execute transaction some other transaction later. So the scheduling problem is a bottleneck for many blockchain systems, and we use the machine learning to classify these transactions. This is like an experimental thing. We do it like in real time and smartly schedule them to minimize like contention. And this AI like powered traffic controller has shown some really good preliminary results on our internal test.
Okay, interesting. So this is only, yeah, I guess it's mainly an internal tool for development here. And so I guess moving on to Bitcoin liquidity, so where Yala comes in as well, just to touch a bit upon Yala. Can you talk a bit about how Solayer could use, for example, the Bitcoin network or Bitcoin liquidity to secure Solana-based applications? Or is there room or potential for that?
Yeah, yeah, of course. I think like Bitcoin, I guess without doubt, it's already the most recognizable asset in crypto or outside crypto. And one thing that I found like not maybe not accepted by like some people outside crypto is that they say you don't really use like Bitcoin to pay for something. I think
Mhm.
one analogy here is that Bitcoin is gold. Like you don't use gold to trade for anything in your daily life. But I think with the existence of another chain, like if you use Bitcoin on another chain, for example Solana or potentially future like on Solayer, uh, you can really use Bitcoin to trade. So the user experience is gonna be smooth. Like if you want to use gold to buy some grocery, it's not because of gold is not like able to trade, but it's because like they don't accept gold, right? But on another chain where services maybe start to they are able to start to like accept Bitcoin as the payment.
Okay, yeah. So I guess it's that based where it's yeah, up to the respective applications. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So is this something that we can look forward to? So they're actively working with Bitcoin applications or Bitcoin as a value asset?
Yeah, I think one potential, like very obvious thing we can see is to stake Bitcoin, like as the security guarantee for our network. Many people like our architecture will have a consensus of like voting system where verifiers they will use stake assets to vote for the chain's consensus, and this is like for security and decentralization. And of course, like Bitcoin can be this is a like perfect usage for Bitcoin staking.
Yeah. Okay. It's very interesting. Are there then plans for integrating other assets for this? For example, have Ethereum staking or meme coin staking or any other assets for securing the network? Or is it only Bitcoin and Solana for now?
Because like Bitcoin's it's I think we will in early stage we will only support for the like more valuable assets. They are more like they can because of the price fluctuation makes it harder to attack like using all the assets. Like if you use a meme coin and suddenly it got rugged and the coins can be used as a uh, like the verifiers they can use their staked assets to like do some evil things. So I think that's the main logic of not using some like hugely fluctuated assets as the staked coins.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's a very clear risk there. I guess just to go back to the beginning of Solayer, or what you mentioned for the pivot away from staking to chain development. Was there a specific, I guess, catalyst for this? Was there something that you saw in the industry or the ecosystem that kind of paved the way for this pivot, or was it just an expansion of what Solayer was?
Uh, I don't see there are other people like pivoting like us. I think one major reason we pivoted is really we see the lack of a high performant blockchain in the market, and another thing is as a staking or restaking company, we do have the we do have users that are willing to invest in crypto long term, stake their assets there, and it's like even it's just I think they will be really happy to uh, stake their assets and act as a verifier in our network. It's gonna be a beneficial thing for them for the long term holders.
Yeah, definitely. That makes sense. Can you talk a bit about the roadmap for Solayer? Like, when is the what can we expect to see over the next couple of years and short
Uh,
term, next couple of months?
yeah, very short term. We will release our internal dev very soon. Uh, I cannot give a exact date, but very soon.
Okay. Okay, so this is the internal dev night coming up, and then I guess depending on how this goes, mainnet this year, or
Yeah, definitely. I think our roadmap is gonna be Q4, and internally, like our DevNet now have 300K TPS stably, and it's really like interesting to see like there are some launching protocol blockchains they're celebrating about their 10K or 100K TPS, but internally we already have like 300K. So that's we're really our way to 1 million TPS really hard.
okay, interesting. I guess in terms of the internal developments going on here, what are you seeing as the biggest challenges for yourself, like day to day? What are the challenges that you're working on?
The challenge is really to rewrite Solana's lot of components. Like I know that there are some SVM chains. They are just a fork of the Agave or the Fire Dancer validator code repo, and but we did is a total rewrite of the the validator client because we want to eliminate a lot of unused features of the client, and we thought it would be easier to rewrite it from scratch. And yeah, it's gonna it was painful because you have to like start everything from scratch. But it was also interesting, like you can see how software improvement there can be, and I think we are about to reach the limit of the software. And as a hardware accelerator chain, we will go deep into that. We will use our specifically designed hardware to run the code to make it even faster.
Okay, interesting. And when did you guys start development on the chain project?
When did we start?
Yeah.
Well, it was actually in January, so basically only 3 months passed, and yeah, that's pretty quick.
Okay. Yeah, achieved a lot in 3 months.
Yeah.
I guess as close to a wrap up question, what are you most excited about, both for Solayer in the coming year, and as well as separately from that in the industry as a whole? What are you looking forward to for this year?
Okay, so for Solayer, I think we are after we released our internal DevNet, it's gonna be I expect to see many new inspirational ideas coming from this Kai TPS. Like one thing we brainstormed before is like maybe use it for game streaming and also maybe other like video streaming and other. But these are just the most obvious applications we can thought of. But I think like people they will have much more brilliant ideas can be built on this high performance and high bandwidth chain. And for the industry, well, I think because like we are really in the unstable market right now.
Yeah, it's interesting times right now.
But I do think that it reminds me of like late 2022 and early 2023. So as a builder, I see lots of like new faces in the industry, and also like in Solana, I can especially see that. So many talented people from like the traditional industry, maybe operating system or compiler designs or distributed system, they are entering this field. So as a builder, I had never doubted that like crypto will like go bear again. It's just the coin prices may fluctuate like the stock prices, but uh, yeah, I think like this industry is thriving.
It's good to hear. So I think that's very, very good news for all our listeners here today. Or that's what they wanted to hear, I think. Then we have one slightly fun, controversial question that we got from a community member. Um,
Yeah.
Not sure I 100% understand it, but it's a question of why the approach of hacking other protocols. So the references to the recent Time Fund case. Can you talk a bit about this?
Okay, so I mentioned before, like we were a security researcher team, and like trying to understand everything, how everything works, is like one drive for us. And when time fund like emerged, I immediately wanted to know how it worked, because the user experience is quite smooth. Like you don't have to pay for gas, and I kind of wonder why we don't need to pay for gas. And then found out that the request to the backend was buggy. It was like unauthorized, where you can basically use their fee account to send any transaction, including extracting their fee account. So I reported to them. That's the bug itself is pretty simple, but the spirit behind it is just want to know like how everything works. And I think that goes for the like the development side as well. Like when we're trying to like push the limits of the TPS, uh, the core question we're asking is that why can it not reach that high TPS? And when you really go deep into that, maybe sometimes it's a log where you can optimize it, and where sometimes it's maybe some like poorly written code where you can improve it. And then also like when you go deeper and deeper and harder, I think um, and we have already actually reached sometimes the hardware part. And as a hacker, like you don't really stop when you uh, reach something new. Like when we will like reach the hardware limit, we will try to exploit the hardware.
Okay, interesting. That makes sense. It's an interesting approach to development.
Thank you.
And I think on that note, we're already out of questions now, so we'll give you, I guess, a few minutes back of your time to not keep you for too long. I think as a final send off, can you tell our listeners and our audience, I guess, where to find information about Solayer and what to look out for in the coming months?
Uh, I think just follow our main account, Solayer Labs, and I think all information will be posted there. And also, like folks of our engineers, I suggest you subscribe them too, because they will post very many like interesting informations. Not only just about like our chain stuff, but sometimes some hacks. And yeah, I will be posting some another like bug I found in one popular Solana development framework this week, I guess. Yeah, it's another like interesting thing. Like, yeah, it's not advertisement, but it's gonna be fun.
Okay, interesting. So everyone stay tuned for that. Go follow the Solayer account and the Publicqi accounts. And on that note, thank you very much for joining, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
Perfect. Thanks everyone for listening. And as always, we'll post a recording on our YouTube channel in case you missed any parts of it. Perfect. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.